on Twitch. Hello, everyone. I just had to medicate. Mast cell dump, and tongue went dry as the Sahara Desert. I think it's an accurate analogy. I have medicated. I have EpiPen. And while I'm not giving medical advice. I'm not sharing medical advice. I'm not expecting you to follow anything I say. I'm just sharing a personal experience. So hopefully my experience can help you or someone you love uh, maybe figure things out for yourself for information you can take to your doctors. So I'm going to be doing two things tonight, and that's a few article reads that I plan to turn into individual YouTube shorts or regular length videos. And in between that, I'm going to be also working on my allergy list for my primaries because that's where we're at. If you are new here, Pauline, chronically spicy. I have mast cell activation syndrome. I have chronic anaphylaxis. I have gastroparesis. I have EDS. I have POTS post. Actually, no, I do not have POTS diagnosed. I have tachycardia symptoms that I need to be reevaluated for. And I also am a latex allergy patient, coconut allergy patient, and ethylenediamine dihydrochloride allergy patient. Hey, Tune, thanks for liking the live. Zebra Strong, you got it. Yes, you do. If anybody doesn't know, zebras are the mascot for people with connective tissue disorder because this, as the saying kind of goes, when most people hear hoof prints, when most people hear like the sounds of like hooves behind them or running, they think horses. We're the zebras. We're the zebras. And my kid and I are both the zebras. Tune, you are, you know what? I'm following you back, yo. I'm following. Can I follow you? How do I follow? 1 second. There you go. Followed back. So tap the screen on TikTok. Please make sure you comment. Tune, you're doing. I appreciate you. Interaction helps the algorithm like crazy. Tune, thank you for following. If I can get to 1,000 likes tonight, you have no idea how exciting that would be for me, because I've been kind of like out of the algorithm for quite a while. My videos used to go like semi-viral all the time, and like right now I'm like, if I hit 500, it's a good day. So I'm hoping to get to 1,000 likes tonight, and I on TikTok. And anybody who would like to consider going live or having a chance to work one-on-one with me for like a personal consult, like 20 to 30 minutes, where I help you research what you need to find to take to your doctors. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm not telling you what to do. Please don't interpret anything I say that way as educational and entertainment purposes only, research only. So there we go. I'm ADHD, I'm autistic. I say I'm a lot. I need to work on a better like bridge for pausing. Anyway, Tune, you are my favorite. Thank you, thank you. And if anybody decides on YouTube, please follow, subscribe on YouTube. That is the easiest way to help support me as a content creator and will also help to get me to my goal of 1,000 followers between now and my birthday, or subscribers, because once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm then eligible for monetization of the channel after I get to, the minimum number of watch hours, which is hugely important because I can't work outside of the house. Right now, I can't even really leave the house. Want to know why? Holiday season and latex allergy, poinsettia allergy. It's just fun. Um, I'm being completely sarcastic. It's not. It's complete and utter hell. Um, and every single heart my therapist thanks you for, because it helps to validate my existence. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, if you would like to share your own personal experiences, please do so in the comments. We've got an open forum, and I am more than happy to. I try to reply to everybody, and I would absolutely love to connect with you because I know how hard it is when you feel so completely crazy, alone, and are questioning your own reality. Even after you got your diagnosis from the experts, you think, sweet, I've got my get out of jail free card, meaning doctors aren't going to doubt me anymore because the experts at XYZ University Health System diagnosed me. Mm, maybe. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Tune, you are a legend. Um, and I did put a gift goal on TikTok. I usually don't meet those, but I figured reach for the stars, right? All right. So let's see. Everybody follow Tune, okay? I know it's a private account, but um, if Tune thinks you're worthy, they'll follow you back. Yeah. All right. Okay. So before I start working on my allergen list, first I am going to read. What was the one I was going to read? Was it this one? This one. There we go. All right. Let me go. Let me see. All right. I am now reading from YouTube. So if you can you see that? No, you can't. Let's do it this way. There we go. That's better. All right. So I'm now on YouTube, and I am going to be reading from this article. Mast cell activation syndrome and symptoms, clevelandclinic.org. It is in the description box on the YouTube live, which will then be a video that you can watch after. And I will try my absolute best to get in here and separate these videos so that they're individual videos for you to be able to access the information that you need on the various playlists that I have on my channel. All right. So, what is mast cell activation syndrome? First of all, before I even start reading the article, it's real. If your doctor's ever told you that they don't think it's real, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you what I've done when I've had this told to me. I haven't gone back because just like if I were walking into an auto shop because my brakes weren't working and a mechanic told me they didn't believe in brake pads, I'd walk right the hell out and find someone else because obviously we're having a communication issue, and I need you to know more than I do on certain matters. So, right tune? Exactly. I actually had a specialist, the head of allergy at a major university, teaching hospital, university, tell me they didn't believe in mast cell activation syndrome. My response was, and I quote, "I wasn't asking you about your opinion on the Easter Bunny. And by the way, are you telling me that you know more than the NHS, JAMA, and the NIH and PubMed? Because how many peer-reviewed studies have how many peer-reviewed papers have you published? Anyway, so all right, starting from scratch on this one for the intro and the outro and make it a separate video. Hey everyone, it's Pauline from Chronically Spicy, and today I'm going to be reading an article for you on mast cell activation syndrome because I have a lot of my TikTok followers who are asking me a lot of questions, and a lot of the time I end up answering the same question multiple times. This is not to criticize anyone who's following me or asking the questions, because I know you're coming to my pages and my socials at different points in your chronic illness journey, but to help try to better manage my time, which is very hard as an unmedicated autistic ADHD individual with zero executive functioning until I'm at least medicated again. And also because of just all of the allergies and allergic reactions that I have, things can get kind of tricky. So if I can put these answers for you in a playlist, and I do have a mast cell MCAS playlist on my YouTube channel here, then anytime someone asks me that again on TikTok or Facebook or any other social, I can say, you know what? I've got a YouTube video on that. Why don't you check out this link? And there you go. All right. You got me to a tune. You are brilliant. Thank you. That was amazing. So let's see if we can get some gifts going. Yeah, my birthday's almost here, and when I say almost, it's like 6 weeks away. And I'm stuck inside of my house, basically, except for walking the dogs until the new year, because I'm waiting for the poinsettia plants to come out. And by the way, they're latex allergy crosses, just so everybody knows. We can do a separate one on that too. Hello, Lost in New York. Okay, there you go. All right, so here we go. Pauline Chronic Spicy and Mast Cell Activation Syndrome by the Clinic. One more time. Pauline from Chronically Spicy, and we are talking about Mast Cell Activation Syndrome, MCAS. Article is from clevelandclinic.org. I figured it was an org. And here we go. All right, so what is MCAS? Mast cell syndrome, MCAS, is a condition that causes intense episodes of swelling, shortness of breath, hives, diarrhea, vomiting, and other symptoms. In severe cases, it may lead to life-threatening anaphylaxis. It's caused by mast cells mistakenly alerting your immune system that there's something harmful in your body. Note, this did not say that it's caused by too many mast cells, a proliferation of mast cells, or an overproliferation of mast cells. This is stating that the mast cells in your body are overly sensitive and react to changing and random triggers. And the short story is you end up looking and sounding crazy for a little while, maybe a long while, because you're doubting your own reality. Because how the hell was, that gluten-free bread you ate yesterday perfectly fine, or the plain bowl of rice you ate yesterday perfectly fine, and today you can't keep anything down at all because everything's causing a reaction? That's mast cell activation syndrome, okay? All right, overview. What is MCAS? MCAS is when you have unexplained episodes of severe symptoms like swelling, every day. Swelling, diarrhea, vomiting, that happens when I'm not on my medications. Flushing, every day, and it usually happens at night. And I recently figured out I don't like sleeping because I'm afraid that I won't be able to treat symptoms or a symptom domino effect when it gets started because, unconscious. So that's kind of, let's just say chronic illness and mental health go hand in hand. Okay. So if you have a chronic illness, I'd highly recommend talking to a therapist. And somebody remind me of that because I got to do the same thing. All right, MCAS. Also, okay. Okay, so you also can experience flushing and itching. FYI, if you're neurodivergent, you may experience a different or you may experience the same symptoms, but how do I phrase this? We experience pain differently. We experience a lot of symptoms differently, and we also have a hard time explaining how we're feeling and the symptoms that we're having to neurotypical doctors because we tend to explain a lot sensation first. Like I never went into a doctor and said, "Hey, doctor, I'm having I develop rashes and I'm having allergic reactions." Multiple body systems affected at the same time. And I after I've eaten slow cooked pork, after I've had, a kombucha, like I'll be sitting on the couch for hours and I get swelling and I get palm lesions. Because this is how see how swollen it still is. Yeah, that was it was actually very painful before. I don't get itching, I get pain, I get pressure, I get my skin feeling like it wants to stop or prevent a volcano from erupting. It's intense and it hurts like hell. So, any medical professionals who happen to see this, please make sure that you talk to your patients because MCAS, EDS, and POTS are often associated with being neurodivergent. All right, and that can mean anything from autism or ADHD or both, and possibly other neurodivergent conditions. But autism and ADHD are I think, the most common. One second. All right. I have 10 minutes before I have to check if my symptoms don't entirely. Lava feeling. Bingo. All right. Mast cell activation syndrome. And okay, so unlike allergies, which happen when you eat a certain food or touch something and react to, MCAS episodes happen without a clear trigger. That's not entirely correct. Okay. For some of us, we know certain things or learn over time that certain things are going to trigger us either every time we eat them because they're either inherently high in histamines, because of the way the food was prepped, that increases the histamine count. So anything aged, fermented, dehydrated, pickled, slow cooked, or cured or processed, that can trigger an MCAS reaction. And by reaction, I mean it can be anything from skin flushing to needing to epi to needing to go to the ER. I will explain why epi doesn't automatically equal ER for MCAS patients in my particular case because I'm not giving anyone medical advice. Always talk to your doctor. And yes, current guidelines do state that you're supposed to go to the hospital after you epi. I will explain why I don't after I'm done with this article. Okay, so in some cases, mast cell activation can cause anaphylaxis, a severe allergic condition that can be life-threatening It can cause you to have trouble breathing and drop in blood pressure to dangerously low levels. Call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room if you're experiencing severe anaphylaxis. Okay, Cleveland Clinic, if anybody happens to see this, I might be reaching out to your team because we need to clear up a few things. And I say this in the most respectful way possible because I know the information you're putting out here is to help your patients and anybody who happens to read this. But there's a difference between anaphylaxis and anaphylactic shock. And the paragraph that I just read, this one right here, if your blood pressure is dropping to dangerously low levels and you are having trouble breathing, you have bypassed anaphylaxis and are now on anaphylactic shock. You have passed go while playing Monopoly and forgotten to collect your $200. Okay, which hopefully would help cover the cost of the wee woo van ride to the hospital. What's described here is anaphylaxis. 2 or more body systems is anaphylactic shock. Okay, any 2 body systems. And you can verify that through other sources. I do have other videos on this, but that's just the medical definition. Okay, mast cells are a type of immune cell responsible for immune reactions. While it can be scary to have mysterious symptoms and want answers, activation of mast cells is common. For instance, conditions like allergic rhinitis, asthma, allergic reactions like anaphylaxis to drugs, medications, or foods, and mastocytosis all activate mast cells. So do things like changes in barometric pressure, weather changes, seasonal changes, emotions, stress, hormones. If a food is actually high in histamines, uh, kombucha is the devil. Dehydrated foods, yeah, same. Um, broth, bone broth, collagen, not if you paid me. I've done it before. It's a bad idea for me. Um, which which part, Tune? All right. Mast cells are all right. Okay, so mast cells are a type of immune cell responsible for immune reactions. Yeah, scary. Okay, so and yes, mast cell can piggyback off of an allergic reaction. So if I am triggered by latex allergy, I'm exposed to balloons, or I'm an idiot and I completely blank on the fact that vegan restaurants might not be the safest place for a person with coconut allergy to go eat because basically everything is covered in coconut. Because that stuff does not it permeates unless you're working only with glass or stainless steel. Let's just say there's a major coffee chain that happens to be fairly popular. There's one on every corner, one block corner in New York, and ends in bucks. Because the frappuccinos cost a lot of them, but they're worth it if you can have one. Anyway, as I was saying, I can walk into one of those facilities and I can say, and I have to say, I'm allergic to. I can say that kombucha, yeah, that's bad. That I can say that I am allergic to coconut, and someone is instantly going to pop up and they're going to say, we can't serve you anything that is blended because they all use in a Starbucks. They use everything from oat milk to soy milk to coconut milk to almond milk to regular dairy, and they do not have their blenders like dedicated to a certain milk. So there's going to be a chance for cross contamination. And I've been told this time and time again by managers and the well versed employees, do not touch. June, are you allergic to coconut? definitely always bring up your coconut allergy or your soy allergy or your tree nut allergy or your latex allergy. If you say latex fruit syndrome, they might know that, they might not. But if you know you've reacted to coconut, or you know you've reacted to tree nuts, or you know you've reacted to soy milk, all of which, by the way, are latex allergy crosses, um, know that. The staff is pretty well versed in every Starbucks I've gone into since I was diagnosed, and been like, yeah, we can only make you a blended drink, an iced drink in the cup we're going to hand you. And I bring my own straw because paper straws are usually made. There's a danger that the potential for um, the biodegradable glues or whatever they use, adhesives to put all the paper together, and the possibility of coconut fibers being in those straws. I have had dry tongue instantly from uh, 2 sips off of a paper straw. So I don't use those anymore, ever. All right, back to the article. So, all right, so for instance, conditions like allergic rhinitis and asthma, allergic reactions like anaphylaxis to drug or food, and mastocytosis all activate mast cells. This causes them to release proteins that give you symptoms that are bothersome at best and dangerous at worst. Yeah, every day. Other common conditions can also cause unexplained symptoms, like watching Top Gun 2. After watching Top Gun 1 and realizing how well they tied the story together and honored Top Gun 1, um, and it hit you in the heartstrings because you're a writer and a sap, and you cry through all of the credits, and you're sobbing at the end of Top Gun 2. A friend told me. And your husband looks at you and goes, your face is swelling and you've turned as red as a tomato. You may want to take your rescue meds. It's cool. Hey, Tom Cruise, I'm allergic to Top Gun. It was a damn good movie, though. All right. But mast cell activation is rare. I'm going to take just a guess and say that I think it's a lot more common than the medical community thinks it is at large. I think it's just largely underdiagnosed because doctors are confusing mast cell, mastocytosis, and looking for the wrong markers and sending patients on wild goose chases to see this therapist or that specialist 5 months to 2 years down the road. And meanwhile, you're questioning your own reality and wondering exactly how the hell you went from a normal functioning human being to looking at the bowl of white rice in front of you, and wondering exactly what happened to your life and what choices you made in your past one that you're being punished for now. Thank you, Beyonce, for my existence. That's all I gotta say. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Healthcare providers diagnose mast cell activation syndrome. Right, June? Doctors diagnose mast cell activation syndrome if you have repeated symptoms of concerning possible anaphylaxis without a clear trigger. Or they just tell you have idiopathic anaphylaxis and don't go any further. By the way, if you're curious, we can do a future video. If I can get my gift goal tonight, I will do a future video on on mast cell versus idiopathic anaphylaxis. Remember, idio means we don't know, pathic, regarding the body. And IDIO, you're just missing the T for the doctors who are like, Google's a thing? How come you know more than I do? I'm not saying all doctors are idiots. I'm just saying that the doctors who are willing to actually listen to their patients, you get extra credit for having paid attention in medical school during that bedside manner course if you took one. Okay, MCAS can also be diagnosed if you have more than one body system affected at the same time. Cleveland Clinic, we need to talk, because having more than one body system affected at the same time is the literal definition of medically defined anaphylaxis. And in short, having mast cell activation syndrome is being chronically in a state of low-level anaphylaxis. There are 4 stages. The first stage is essentially, do I need my MCAS? I'm sorry, do I need my EpiPen? I might need my EpiPen. I'm not sure. I've been told by a friend who's a nurse with the same conditions that I have, most of them, if I'm the one asking, I probably need it. Think Monty Python flesh wound night. We are used to walking around with, like, just brushing off the extreme as regular, everyday occurrences. And what would have freaked me out 20 years ago, now I'm like, yeah, no problem. No big deal. I've made dinner and walked my dogs through active anaphylaxis, not with my airway affected, and I'm not showing off, and I'm not telling you that I think you should be doing the same thing. I just know what my body can handle, and I've been told not to go to the ER by multiple physicians, including those at the Mayo, unless I have either airway affected or my second EpiPen doesn't work. And I'm supposed to epi every time I have facial angioedema, because that always comes with a cluster of other symptoms, which means that more than one body system is affected. Happens every single night. And guess what? I now kind of have a sleep phobia, especially because when I wake up in the morning and I'm completely swollen around here, that makes me wonder how bad I got while I was sleeping, because I was sleeping. Sleep is for the weak. All right. Doctors may also diagnose mast cell if your test shows signs of mast cell activation. The writer in me wants to fix that sentence because it's Cleveland Clinic. We're gonna be talking because yeah, only 30% of patients generally are able to be diagnosed with actual blood markers, specifically tryptase, which is the one that most doctors think is the gold standard for mast cell diagnosis, when it's not. Only about 30% of patients show elevated tryptase, even during a flare. And guess how I got diagnosed? Not tryptase, not the multiple skin biopsies that I had, because guess what? If I had elevated mast cells on my skin, that would mean systemic mastocytosis, cutaneous mastocytosis. I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have that. So doctors are like, nah, it's just anxiety. You're imagining this as I have, and then I'm walking out of the office and having children point at me in the lobby and go, what's wrong with your face? So if a 5-year-old knows what's something's wrong with me, the guy in the white coat, the lady in the white coat who spent a whole ton of money on that medical degree should have an idea that maybe, just maybe, even though the test came back and said, no, your mast cells are in the normal range, maybe we should look at something else. I don't know. Nancy, do you never stop when, the first suspect was eliminated? That would have made for a really crappy book series. And you keep going till you find the culprit. So let's go back here. So mast cell activation syndrome, it says here, is rare, right? And that healthcare providers can diagnose mast cell activation if with repeated symptoms concerning possible anaphylaxis without a clear trigger, more than one body system affected at the same time, which is actually the definition of mast cell activation syndrome. And it's also the diagnostic for idiopathic anaphylaxis. Let's put 2 and 2 together, shall we? Tests show signs of mast cell activation. That could be potentially elevated histamine levels. That test is extremely hard to get. Isn't it crazy how we all have been gaslit? I have medical PTSD diagnosed. I think I might make myself a sticker for that. I'd offer myself a cookie, but I'm probably allergic to it. The number of times I've been medically gaslit and the severity of how I've been medically gaslit, that'll be a separate live later. So please, that might even be a YouTube exclusive live. So please subscribe because I don't know how much longer I'm going to actually like scream into the void over here on YouTube. I'm sorry, on TikTok, because it's easier to get, from what I've learned, just observing and as a journalist, it's easier to get experts who might want to collaborate or appear as guests on a YouTube video, YouTube channel, podcast, whatever, over TikTok. So, and that might just be a Gen X thing. I don't know, Gen X and above. Anyway, if you show tests that show mast cell activation, so that could be your histamine levels, that could be your tryptase levels, that could be cutaneous mast cells, that could be too many mast cells being produced in your bone marrow. Yeah, that test sounds as painful as you think it is. I've never had it, thank God. And it could also be elevated leukotrienes. Guess what? I have elevated leukotrienes. You know what leukotrienes do? They increase inflammation. Guess what I'm on? Not leukotrienes. Want to know why? Because I'm allergic to like all of them. So that'll be a separate video down the line. Mast cells and their function. Mast cells are part of your immune system. When is mast cell going to be actually listed as an autoimmune condition? Because right now it's just listed as a chronic one, right? Am I right? Their usual function is to help protect your body from invading germs or pathogens like parasites or viruses. If you're going to jump on the parasite train and tell me to start drinking bone broth and fix my gut, this is not the page for you. This is not the channel for you. I've been through all that. I've spent tons of money listening to doctors who told me I should be drinking bone broth and that I should be, healing my gut. And all while cashing the checks because none of these doctors take insurance. And making myself worse in the process because guess what? Collagen, extremely high in histamine. Slow cooking makes it like even worse. Projectile vomiting after eating slow cooked pork doesn't mean that you have alpha-gal or that you're allergic to pork. It means that the slow cooking is the problem because if the longer it's cooked, the higher the histamine count goes. So maybe pay attention, doctors, please, to your patients because a lot of us are autistic, and a lot of us, even if not autistic, have gotten really good at researching our own symptoms so we could stay alive. Because that's kind of important, breathing is nice. And we tend to research a lot because we get tired of being told it's probably just anxiety. You might just want to lose some weight. Have you ever tried yoga? Dancing naked under the wild moonlight while slathering yourself in lavender oil. Heal that gut. You'll be fine. Oh yeah, tune. Life-changing air cooker. There's a $20 one that they sell at Target. It's called like the So Yummy brand. It's great for like college dorm rooms, apartments, 1 or 2 people who live in a household. Oops, 1 minute. I have to Here we go. There, fixed it. Okay, so $20. You can get it in red, violet, or blue. All right, and thing is fabulous. You can't bake in it and do all the fancy stuff in it. You can do with the bigger stuff, but it's magic on reheated fries. So my daughter absolutely loves it. She has mast cell without histamine intolerance. Okay, mast cells, part of your immune system. All right, parasites, don't, don't. We'll talk about that if someone brings it up, but you're not going to like my answer. Or other harmful substances, they sit in your tissues, and when they recognize something they think is harmful, they release histamine and other chemicals to activate your immune system and to try and flush out the intruder. Usually that means you have, anaphylaxis for a lot of us. And a lot of us don't even know that we're having anaphylaxis. I didn't realize until a few years ago that I was. Sometimes they react to things that Cleveland Clinic, can I please just rewrite? Like, I'm not even asking for money at this point. Just as a journalist, a minute, I'm MCAS mother of. Where did I drop my phone? There it is. Hi. How you doing? Reading this article is giving me a headache. I realize this is probably not the best application or pitch to a university, respected university, to have me rewrite their stuff. But y'all, 1 minute. I have to fix this because right now my head is not happy. No, you son of a monkey's uncle. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So my hair is still recovering from my stevia and cinnamon reactions, which, by the way, yeah, connected to latex allergy. Good. Yeah, fun. And the tip of my thumb is killing me because Behçet's disease flare, because that happens too. Okay, now that I no longer look like I'm actually causing myself physical pain. Okay. All right. See this? Yeah. Behçet's. Okay. Behçet's right there. We'll talk about that another time. All right. So sometimes they react to things they shouldn't. Lord, give me strength. Okay. Which is why you get allergies. But allergies only make your eyes itch or your nose run or give you mild symptoms. MCAS causes more symptoms without specific triggers. Cleveland Clinic, we need to rewrite this. I'm probably going to rewrite it for you, okay? And I'm going to do a fix on this. And I am, for my next YouTube video, I'm going to rewrite this article as I believe it should be, because honestly, I don't know why teaching hospitals and big university hospitals like this, don't tap into their patient network, because damn well Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, and every other respected medical teaching university in the freaking world has at least one patient who is like the one that the doctors don't like very much, because they know two medical terms, because they have the condition, because they understand the condition. And sometimes our mast cells react to things they shouldn't, which is why you get sometimes you get allergies because you're prone to allergies, or you have a familial history to allergies, or you have overexposure or repeat exposure to certain allergies that took years to build, because it's repeat allergy that triggers the it's repeat exposure that triggers the allergy, like latex. Latex fruit syndrome, and all of the other foods that are connected to that. And that latex allergy and food and latex fruit syndrome can go back and forth either way. or what actually I believe is the actual cause of why the latex allergy um, issue has become the problem that it is today. We'll get to that one and another one. Get your tin hats ready. But yeah, mast cells always, almost always react to things they shouldn't. That's why doctors look at us like we're crazy. That's why we end up thinking we're crazy. If they only reacted to things they should, doctors wouldn't be telling us it didn't exist and wouldn't be sending us to psychiatrists. Okay. They sit in your tissues when they recognize something they think is harmful, and they release histamines and other chemicals to activate your immune system. Or I said that part. Allergies usually only make your eyes itch or your nose run or give you mild symptoms. MCAS causes more symptoms without specific triggers. Not necessarily true, partially right. This is all right. So here we go. Some almost all the time they react to things they shouldn't. And allergies can happen for a variety of reasons. Yes, histamine dumps are always histamine excesses. When your body releases too many histamines, it's usually because it's basically trying to fight off the battle or the army that's attacking your castle. But when you do not have an actual allergy, but you have a physical, noticeable reaction, welts, hives, 2 or more body systems affected at once, that's anaphylaxis or anaphylactoid reactions. Anaphylactoid means do what you would do if you have anaphylaxis, but we're not going to be able to prove it on paper. By the way, let's work on the gifts. Thanks. Okay. Keep tapping the screen. Okay. I love y'all, but I have had so many people ask me lately, and I'm not saying that to disparage anyone. I'm just letting you know. I don't have a job. I don't work out of the house. I am trying my damnedest to turn this into an actual career so that I can actually, feel like a useful human being again. And contribute to family finances. And it's really, really hard to separate my brain from helping people when they ask for personal time and then go, well, what are your free options? My YouTube videos, my TikTok library. Like every moment I spend advocating is a moment I'm not spending on my family or cleaning my house, or I need to prioritize my health, my mental health, and the services I can offer. So I am trying to work on that too. And basically, it's another form of self-advocacy. But anaphylactoid reactions, basically, you're talking about the difference between an accidental grease fire in your kitchen and arson. The fire department doesn't show, when the fire department shows up because your house is on fire and it's a 3-alarm blaze, it doesn't mean that the fire chief's going to walk up to you first, the homeowner standing outside of the house with your, 2 cats, 3 dogs, and 2.5 children hugging at your ankles and carried in your arms, and whatever other precious goods you could carry out of your house before your house went down in flames. They don't walk up to you and go, so what was the reason the house caught on fire, so that we know if we should actually put it out. They don't do that. Their job is to put the house fire out first and then figure out what caused it later. Same thing with MCAS. If you're having an anaphylactoid reaction or having an anaphylaxis reaction, your body sees it as the same. It needs to be and talk to your doctor about this. You can find this information online and verify it. But there's a reason a lot of MCAS patients end up carrying EpiPens. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah. MCAS causes more serious symptoms without specific triggers. Sometimes there are specific triggers. I can tell you right now, I can't drink coffee. I can't drink kombucha. I can't drink wine, especially if it's made with grapes, because grapes are high in histamine. Strawberries are high in histamines. Note, not every MCAS patient is going to react to every histamine food. Grapes and strawberries are also on the latex allergy fruit list. So, like, if I can't eat something because of one reason, I can't eat it because of the other. It's super fun. I'm being completely sarcastic. It actually sucks. How serious is mast cell activation syndrome? Well, serious enough that I'd like to rewrite this article for you, Cleveland Clinic. And I say this like such. I know I'm a smartass, and I know I'm being like, this. Pretend I'm speaking Spanish. This is how I communicate. Okay, I say things in English, but think them like in the Spanish way, because we all have a dark sense of humor, especially because I've been on a lot of. I used to cover crime for crying out loud. I had to cope somehow. My mast cell activation syndrome my trauma made me fun here. But I also want to finish this. But I really, we need to work on this, okay? The severity of MCAS depends on your symptoms. True. It can be relatively mild with just skin-related symptoms, but it also can cause episodes of anaphylaxis, which can be fatal if not treated right away. Okay, you bypassed anaphylaxis and went straight to anaphylactic shock. You can stop anaphylaxis if you act fast enough, which is usually why mast cell patients carry EpiPens and why they tell you to carry both at the same with you at all times. Don't leave one in the car and one in your purse, one in your locker if you're in high school, and one in your backpack, or one in your office drawer and one in your purse or your briefcase. You're supposed to take them both with you in the same place at all times. If you need to, talk to your doctor about getting a second pack so you can have that second pack in the as a backup in your car, in your briefcase, in your purse, in your locker, whatever. Okay, because sometimes you may need to epi again. My directions, as I've shared before, are not to go to the ER unless the second epi doesn't work, which I'm not gonna know if I don't have the second epi on me. So I have to carry it at all times. All right. The severity of MCAS depends on your symptoms. It can be relatively mild with just skin-related symptoms. That'd be cutaneous MCAS. But it can also be caused by episodes of anaphylaxis. The editor in me right now is screaming, but it also can cause episodes of anaphylaxis, which can be fatal if not treated right away. Severe life-threatening reactions due to mast cell activation syndrome are extremely rare. Not according to my FYP. Or personal experience, because I have chronic anaphylaxis. I have at least one anaphylactic reaction every single day. For every time I epi, I have an epi 2 or 3 times, because I waited out those reactions, treated them with my mast cell activation and mast cell stabilizing and mast cell rescue meds as best I could. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I've had to do because of the medical gaslighting that I deal with, and because no allergist, apparently, where I live is taking MCAS patients, because not many people know about it. Okay. Symptoms and causes. What are the symptoms of mast cell activation syndrome? Mind you, this is not an all-encompassing list, but here are potential ones. MCAS causes repeated episodes of severe symptoms in multiple areas of your body. What does that mean, everybody? Go ahead, say it in the comments. What's that mean? What does that sound like? Mast cell activation syndrome, idiopathic anaphylaxis. 2 or more body systems affected. Okay. All right. Symptoms may include low blood pressure. Not for everybody. Again, this is not an everybody or all or nothing list. Okay. Flushing, red hot or pink skin. This is still flushing. Okay. Tap the screen, and if I can actually make it to my gift goal for once in my life, my therapist will thank you, because it'll mean less. It'll mean I'll actually feel very validated for once outside of my own head. That'd be lovely. Okay. Anyway, flushing. Okay, itchy skin or painful skin if you're neurodivergent. Nasal congestion, or on the outside of that, possibly nasal, like post-nasal flood, not drip, flood, like you're gagging and choking because it's just all like there's so much coming down at the same time that it's like somebody turned on Niagara Falls, and eventually you just end up projectile vomiting. That happens a lot. Swelling, often of your face, lips, eyes, tongue, or throat. Angioedema. Yeah. See that? Yeah. Constipation or diarrhea, sometimes alternating. Abdominal pain, belly pain, shortness of breath. If your airway is affected, I am just sharing what I was told by my doctors. If my airway is affected, if I sound like I need to hit an asthma inhaler, which I can't because I'm allergic to them, that's a different video. Yeah, that means airway involvement. Weakness or fainting. Shortness of breath and weakness or fainting. I'd be calling the wee woo van, or having someone call the wee woo van. Memory loss or trouble thinking, brain fog. Funny story. I used to think that seizure activity was brain fog. I'm being evaluated for that too. Turns out, no, it's not. It's completely different. But it's still numbness or tingling, joint pain, anaphylaxis. Severe allergic reactions may include a combination of the above symptoms. Cleveland Clinic. I love y'all, but we need to fix this. To be considered MCAS, the symptoms must affect. Do you guys need a new editor? I say this respectfully, but we definitely need to work on this article, because, yeah. Oh, there's another Pauline in the group. How you doing? All right. So, to be considered, the symptoms must affect 2 or more body systems. Okay. These include your nervous system, brain and nerves, respiratory system, lung and airway, cardiovascular system, heart and blood vessels, digestive system, GI tract, stomach and intestines. And you don't want to know what the biggest organ we have is? Our skin. This is still swollen from, see that? That's still swollen from my last major reaction the night before last. That's not exactly, I can put a Band-Aid on that kind of crap. Hey, Talmaj. How you doing? I am also on YouTube. Talmaj, you are my hero with the roses. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you and absolutely love you. You are a legend, and I appreciate you. Just thank you for the gift. How you doing? If you'd like to read along, please sub to the YouTube channel because I am screen sharing the article I am currently reading from Cleveland Clinic, and let's just say I'm verbally editing the article as I go because it needs to be reworked, shall we say. And I might delete this if I actually reach out to Cleveland Clinic and be like, so how about we work together? Trust me, I'm only a sarcastic and jaded smartass because it's laugh or cry, and I've been dealing with this for over 17 years. So, like, when I say I'm gonna walk the dogs right after I've epied, and nobody blinks, it's because that's how normalized this is now in my system and in my body, in my family's life. What does a mast cell flare feel like? I don't know, Cleveland Clinic. Tell me what that feels like, and I'll tell you if you're right. If you've ever had an allergic reaction, you know what mast cells feel like. Okay, oh, so far I believe you. But for people with MCAS, episodes are often more severe than typical allergic reactions. Well, that depends on if the person who is having the allergic reaction but doesn't have mast cell needs to carry an EpiPen. If they have a life-threatening peanut allergy or coconut allergy, or if they're allergic to the cold, if they're allergic to water. There was a story that was released not too long ago about a little boy who had like red man syndrome, I believe it was, where like basically it was like an autoimmune reaction to antibiotics that basically burned his internal organs. He was burned inside and out, and had to recover like and we treated and recovered like a burn patient, and now he's sensitive to light. So like there's a lot of room for translation here, but for people with MCAS, episodes are more severe than typical allergic reactions, and they can involve multiple parts of your body. Guess what? It's not considered MCAS usually unless more than one body organ is affected. So again, we need to rewrite this. Your skin might get swollen and red, itch, or break out in hives. You might get diarrhea or vomit, or both, because why not? In extreme cases, the reaction is so severe it can cause your face and throat to swell and your blood pressure to drop. Call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room if you are experiencing severe symptoms. All right, here's the deal. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just letting you know. If you are at the point where you are experiencing multiple body systems being affected, and you've epied once, make sure you have the second epi ready to go, right? Don't pop the top yet. Don't inject. Make sure that you keep your fingers away from the needle end the whole bit. Make sure it's ready to go. Make sure make sure your kids, I hate to put this much pressure on my daughter, but make sure that anybody who is with you is able to epi and is trained to epi you with the practice pen that comes right here, right? The trainer. Orange to the sky, blue to the thigh. Take that off. Right? Okay. Trainer. I'm like, don't worry about it hurting. Just remember I'm from Detroit and back away quickly after you epi me, because I was joking with her, but it made her laugh, and it kind of brought some levity to the situation. But I let her know I have fibro too, so does she. And when I'm most reactive, my skin also hurts the most. And I have Behçet's disease, which causes my skin to harden in certain spots. So sometimes I've actually bent needles trying to Benadryl and administer other medications that I'm prescribed when I need them the most, and things hurt the most. So it's super hard to do that then. Okay, so we need to fix that. We need to fix that, Cleveland Clinic. Okay, what causes mast cell activation syndrome? Your mast cells reacting when they shouldn't cause MCAS. Huh? Mm. What causes mast cell activation syndrome? The answer they have is the cause of mast cell reactivation syndrome is what happens when your mast cells react when they shouldn't cause mast cell activation syndrome. The editor in me wants to red pen this so bad and send it back to the original writer. Mast cells release proteins, and if the original writer is a doctor, I'm not saying I know more than you. I'm just saying that I know I have a different skill set. I'm trying to survive with this. And I don't care if my name appears on a rewrite, but I would love to help you on a rewrite. Please. Mast cells release proteins that cause your symptoms when they think they need to protect you from something harmful that has entered your body or yet you've been exposed to. Things like barometric pressure changes, somebody's perfume, somebody's shampoo, somebody else's hormones. Not kidding. There's a lot of things that can trigger. It's not just things that actually are ingested. With allergies, you can identify something specific that causes your body to overreact. In MCAS, there doesn't seem to be a clear trigger that causes your mast cells to release proteins. Yeah, there are actually, those include, again, changes in barometric pressure, hormones, climate, weather changes, seasonal changes. When older people are like, oh, my knees hurt. It's gonna rain today, and somehow grandma's knees are your weather vane, and suddenly, and you know they're right, and it does. That's why that happens to MCAS people. Stress, anxiety, hormones, emotions, foods, how they're cooked, foods, teas, coffee, wine, an allergic reaction, like if you actually have allergic reactions, that or an infection, that can trigger MCAS. That's why so many people with COVID, long COVID, ended up with mast cell activation syndrome. So yeah, there are plenty of clear triggers that can cause mast cells to release proteins, and why so many MCAS patients actually refer to foods as either safe or not safe, because that's how we categorize them. What can trigger mast cell activation syndrome? While many things can trigger MCAS to activate and release histamine, food or pollen allergies, MCAS causes severe symptoms that aren't predictably triggered by anything specific. Sometimes. You might find that you are more likely to have episodes when you're experiencing changes in your life or environment, like periods of high stress or changing weather. That should have gone higher at the top. Okay, inverted pyramid. Okay, if you find that episodes only happen after exposure to something specific, though, tell your provider you might have an allergy instead of MCAS. Or, hear me out here, maybe you have both. I always have reacted to my period and my daughter's period, and she's always reacted to mine. So hormonal changes, which means even when menopause hits and I get a break there, I'm still going to be reacting to hers. I have latex allergy and coconut allergy and ethanol chloride allergy. All of those can trigger mast cell, and those. Oh, and I'm latex fruit syndrome too. So I have an insane amount of allergies, and we're going to be working on that list. Okay. Diagnosis and tests. How is mast cell activation syndrome diagnosed? I am dying to read this. Okay. A healthcare provider might think you have mast cell activation syndrome based on a physical exam, talking to you about your symptoms and your medical history. Providers diagnose mast cell syndrome if you have symptoms of mast cell activation. Respond to treatment for mast cell activation. Have signs of mast cell activation on testing. That doesn't catch everybody, and a lot of the time the testing can be false negatives or even false positives, depending on if the test is handled correctly. If you have a typical number of mast cells, because an excessive number would mean you have a different type of mast cell disorder like mastocytosis. Look up Afrin, MCAS, AFRN, MCAS, consensus 2. I have 19 more roses to go. Who wants to make my night? All right. MCAS testing. 1.9K. Keep tapping. This is how I know I'm not completely stable yet. On days I'm stable, or when I have taken the right amount of medication, I'm not chewing ice like it's actually going out of style like I used to. So yeah. See that little line right there? Ooh, look, my eyebrows are swollen. See that? That's not from the hat. My eyebrows are also swollen. All right. To test for MCAS, your provider may order a blood test to look for signs of mast cell activation called tryptase. Okay. You have to get tested at multiple times to check your levels both when feeling well and when you're having an episode. Okay. Quick ADHD sidebar on this bad boy. Only 30% of patients with mast cell approximately show elevated tryptase even during a flare. And about 18% of patients with mastocytosis, which is the most severe MCAS diseases or disorders, don't show anaphylaxis even during a flare. And I was told this by two of my followers who have mastocytosis, because they don't have elevated tryptase even during a flare. So that's not necessarily true. You have to get to, and it's in order to actually check tryptase. Yeah, doctors have to have a baseline and we caught a flare, right? I've had doctors actually suggest or not suggest, because that would be completely unethical. Eating or drinking something I know is going to trigger a flare, and then waiting it out in an emergency room parking lot, and strolling in like, Julia Roberts in that Pretty Woman scene where like the ladies on Rodeo Drive were like, "Oh, you're not good enough for us," the first time she walked in, and then like, "Oh, she snagged a billionaire," the second time, and she's like, "Wrong, wrong, wrong." Okay. Keep in mind that tryptase can be elevated in other conditions, so tryptase alone doesn't indicate MCAS. Tryptase may not have anything to do with MCAS. Just so Cleveland Clinic, please, someone tag Cleveland Clinic on this. Some people naturally have higher than expected tryptase levels without symptoms. And even more importantly, 70% of those with MCAS are being missed because we don't have elevated tryptase. And depending on where our baseline is, our baseline might be lower than the average person's. So when it does increase, if it doesn't increase beyond what labs consider normal, you might have that 0.2 spike or whatever the minimum is for tryptase. You might have that. But if your increase in tryptase falls within the normal levels, doctors are going to be like, yeah, you're fine. It's priol in your head. Here's an EpiPen. Make sure you follow a histamine diet and take some H1s and H2s, but it's not MCAS. I think you just have idiopathic anaphylaxis. And then your head spins, and rinse, slather, and repeat every time you start with a new doctor. Your provider may also do an allergy skin or blood test to rule out other causes of your symptoms. Note, I have done videos on this, and they'll be in my MCAS playlist, if not yet, after I separate and create individual videos from longer lives like this. Allergy skin testing is not recommended by TMS for a cure and other mast cell aware sites and organizations. And sorry, I'm trying to medicate, and doctors, because anything, yeah, that's not supposed to hurt. Okay. I'm gonna, okay, good times. All right. Okay. What do you do when you're having anaphylaxis? Oh, I just read articles from teaching hospitals and universities and peer-reviewed medical journals, and tell other people what they might need to look for in case they need to talk to their own doctors. I don't know. That's completely normal. Hello, Dolly. Please tap the screen. Please like. Please share. Please comment. And I would love to see if I could hit the 20 rose goal tonight, or any gifts whatsoever. Talmage, thank you for today's first gift. You are my hero, and if you have a question that you want me to answer personally for you, Let me know if you want a private answer or if you want it turned into a video. Please subscribe to my YouTube and leave a comment on this live with the question you'd like answered or links found for that you can take to your doctor. And or let me know on TikTok if you want to be a guest. We can do a future one together. You can do voice only, totally up to you. That's something I'm offering for gifters and subscribers. All right. I also have a Patreon, by the way, because Mama really wants a new pair of shoes. Anyway, all right. But anyway, allergy skin testing, not recommended for MCAS patients. Anything and everything can set us off all the way up to anaphylaxis or worse. And that's also the same for latex allergy patients. So if you suspect or your doctor brings up MCAS and then says that let's do an allergy panel on your skin, the link to this article and others, and the link for hey Rad Zebra, the link I think I have TMS for a cure linked on in my mast cell playlist. But skin testing, if you have MCAS or latex allergy, every single medical source that I've looked at, PubMed, NIH, the Mast Cell Society for a Cure, Mast Cell Action, which is the biggest UK mast cell activation group, as well as my doctors at the Mayo Clinic were like, yeah, we're not skin testing, because that can be a whole lot of false positives, and or worse, everything comes up negative, and your doctor looks at you like you probably got into the bath salts by accident. And you're imagining things. Hey, everybody say hi to Rad Zebra. Follow Zebra. Okay? Follow the Rad Zebra. All right. Healthcare providers don't diagnose mast cell syndrome based on histamine blood test. Elevated histamines don't mean you have MCAS. No, but they're pretty damn strong indicative that you might. It could also just be histamine intolerance. And I'm not saying just to minimize, I'm saying just to differentiate. I have MCAS and histamine intolerance. My daughter my daughter just has MCAS as of this point. We'll have to see as she gets older, because I think I accidentally copy pasted myself, and I'm sorry. Okay, mast cell activation and treatment. Oh my God. This article is linked in the bio in the description box on YouTube. I will have multiple articles that I'm going to be reading and commenting on as a journalist and as a patient, because some of them are incredible and some of them are like, yeah, we kind of know, but not really. And I'm not saying that to disparage the Cleveland Clinic, because I know that they're a respected university and have a lot of great information to share, but they're missing the mark on some of these MCAS points, mainly because this was probably written by somebody who doesn't have MCAS. Let's take a quick look. Doesn't say. I'll find it in a minute. All right. All right. So overview. MCAS. What is it? Mast cell activation, MCAS, is when you have unexplained episodes of severe symptoms like swelling, diarrhea, vomiting, flushing, and itching. Unlike allergies, which happen when you eat a certain food or touch something you react to, MCAS episodes happen without a clear trigger. Or they do happen with a clear trigger if you've had it long enough to put together pattern recognition, which usually happens in autistic and ADHD patients before it'll happen with other patients. And we also have different ways of expressing that pain and the pain that we feel, because I couldn't have told you I was having anaphylaxis or an actual freaking, welt or hives or anything, because I wasn't feeling the itching. I didn't know. They have even tentatively linked my MCAS to Durkheim's disease. Holy crap. I have to look that one up. I know my Bayshot's is triggered by my MCAS, which is, I don't know if that's normal, but like when my MCAS is triggered, everything flares up. Like my teeth hurt, my hair hurts, my hair follicles are like, every single one of them is like a needle that you just dipped into the sun poking out of my hair, out of my scalp. It's a nightmare. I don't like any of my shoes. 2 days ago, it took me 3 pairs of Crocs before I found one that my feet could actually handle. That's not normal. They're freaking Crocs. I love Crocs, but they're Crocs, right? Mast cell activation syndrome, all right. So it says MCAS is caused when you have unexplained, we go. If you've had MCAS long enough, you probably already know some things are going to be always, some things may always trigger, some things may be sometimes trigger. Sometimes you're more reactive than others. Sometimes your safe food today is your not safe food tomorrow. Or you may be eating the same meal like once or twice a day for the last 5 years. You just don't know. But the trigger could be also clear as freaking day. In some cases, mast cell activation can cause anaphylaxis, a severe allergic condition that can be life-threatening. I hate it when medical professionals and medical publications get this part wrong, because this is why so many people have problems and why I didn't know that I was having anaphylaxis until like 3 years ago. Anaphylaxis is medically defined as 2 or more body systems affected at once. Sorry. MCAS. But according to this article on Cleveland Clinic, it can cause you to have trouble breathing and your blood pressure to drop to dangerously low levels. That, my friends, means you've bypassed Go on Monopoly and have forgotten to collect your $200 because you have bypassed anaphylaxis, and that means anaphylactic shock. Call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room if you're experiencing severe anaphylaxis. Sometimes that might not be enough. I always carry 4 EpiPens. I do that on the advice of a friend who is a nurse and has MCAS and latex allergy. I also don't go to the hospital unless a second Epi doesn't work. Sometimes I don't go unless the 3rd or 4th Epi doesn't work, because if you've ever been to the hospital as an MCAS patient, let's just say we are not their favorite people. I'm not telling you what to do. Please discuss your rescue plan with your doctor. Please make sure you have a rescue plan set up. If you don't carry Epi and you have MCAS, please ask your doctor to consider it and do the research necessary to see if you might need one, because many of us do have them. My MCAS triggers heat, certain meds, infection, stress, food, sense. My biggest, I keep the info handy. Yeah, I'm working on building my allergy list, and I don't think I'm going to get to it tonight, but I think I'm at over. Not including MCAS and like things that aren't blood quantifiable. I think that I have like over 125 right now, and let's just say my husband who has celiac disease used to think that he was the special one, and now he jokes and tells people that, like, yeah, no, I'm the one that's jacked up, not him. He just has to avoid gluten. Oh, by the way, that's a latex allergy cross. Wheat/gluten allergy cross. Fun. Okay. Rad Zebra says, my rescue plan, I keep all info on my phone, car, tags, etc. Yeah, I need to get on that. My ADHD has not let me actually do that yet. I have to, but I have to sit down, and maybe tomorrow I have to focus on doing that. My other diagnosis, yeah, right. Okay, so I have fibro. According to the Mayo Clinic, if you have EDS, you're 80 to 90%. 80 to 90% of patients with fibro have mast. Sorry, one more time. Water first. Okay, 80 to 90% of patients with EDS or hypomobile spectrum disorder, a connectivity issue, collagen connective issue, tissue. You know what I mean? Words. Okay. All right. 80 to 90% of people with EDS have fibro. That's according to the Mayo Clinic. I have a copy of the official Mayo Clinic Guide to Fibromyalgia by Dr. Barbara Bruce. And my daughter took a fibro education class at Mayo. And I only didn't have 2 of like the 38 symptoms up on the board. And I started crying when I saw my hair hurts as a symptom, because I've never had anyone understand that. I thought I was just losing my mind and that it was a sensory thing. No. It's real. I also have, so I've got fibro, I've got HSD or EDS, I have mast cell activation syndrome, chronic anaphylaxis almost daily. I have Behçet's disease. I may have, and I have to be evaluated for, seizures, focal, semi-partial, and head drops, I believe, are the terms that were suggested I look at, because I see or hear things that aren't there. I get a little bit of mental confusion that I thought was just brain fog. This doesn't happen when I'm out. This happens when I'm either off of my meds for 3 to 4 weeks at a time because I'm trying, like, in between doctors, or I'm trying to find a new doctor, whatever. There's one medication that makes my brain work, and that would have to be a private conversation or like a members only conversation kind of thing. I have Behçet's disease diagnosed. I may have relapsing polychondritis, and I also need to ask about Magic syndrome, because just like MCAS, POTS, and EDS tend to crash the party together, Behçet's relapsing polychondritis / RP and Magic syndrome can also appear often as comorbid. So there's that. And the weird part is, again, if my mast cells are stable, I might only have one anaphylactic drop or dump a night, or in a 24-hour period, and I consider that a good day. Because I have to ration my EpiPens, because I used to get one a day. I picked up 4 every 4 days. My insurance company said they'd be happy to cover a single prescription for 1 pen every day, because the Mayo Clinic told me to do this epi for facial angioedema only. And then my doctor apparently put 2 and 2 together and was like, wait a minute, you're getting 1 pen every single day? And I was like, well, the Mayo Clinic said, and he was like, yeah, I can't do that. Okay, I understand. Can you recommend a doctor that's willing to, you want to consult with my Mayo Clinic doctor? No, we need an allergist. Okay, I go to the allergist. Allergist only tells me after I get there, I'm really sorry. I should have looked at your file before you showed up. 40-minute drive one way. We don't take MCAS patients because there's not a lot known about it. Excuse me? Google? I asked for any references to any other allergists in either Western Wisconsin or Southern Minnesota. Yeah, no, none. He said no. Yeah, all the trifectas. And the trifecta thing with MCAS, I totally want. Remind me, I need to do a separate video. In fact, we could even do, if you want to join me on my next YouTube live, because it's not just a trifecta, really. If MCAS, bottom, short story, short site, and then I'm going to go back to the rest of this. If it was just a trifecta, it would just be MCAS, POTS, and EDS, right? Yeah. How many people with EDS have fibro? That's now it makes it 4. How many people with MCAS, POTS, and or EDS are autistic or have ADHD? That's 5 and 6, right? How many people with MCAS have their cycles completely F them up and have been diagnosed with PMDD? Guess what? PMDD it was one of my initial diagnoses. It's not even like actually addressed anymore because if my MCAS is stable, it's stable, right? Dr. Trevino in Florida treats virtually. Cool. Does he actually give bonus points if I say Trevino? I grew up speaking Spanish. I cannot not say words in Spanish without a Spanish accent. Even if he says Trevino, if he's been here for so long that there's no accent, I'll have to work on making sure I talk to him personally, and correct myself. Does he do the Enya thing? Does he say Trevino? Can you message me his info? I would totally love to talk to him, because I am having one hell of a time getting, basically I had the wool pulled out from under my feet, or the rug pulled out from under my feet, because I thought that having the Mayo Clinic in writing, here's my diagnostic list, would basically be my armor going into doctor's office appointments. And yeah, it turns out no. Doctors are still no. And I'm like, but the Mayo Clinic, and they just don't. It's hard. In fact, I find out if my current primary decided I'm no longer his patient, because he told me to get an allergist if the Mayo Clinic was recommended at being more often than he's comfortable prescribing for, and in the same patient note in my chart told me that I was calling too much, messaging too much. I'm sorry if I have multiple reasons for having chronic reactions, and how should I treat this? What do I do? I have to ration my EpiPens. I used to get 1 a day. Now I only get 10 a month. That basically means I can really only eat 10 meals a day, 10 meals a month. And yeah, good times. And it's a nightmare. Also, I think I need to be on anti-leukotriene, but I need to find out if that can actually be compounded. Okay, so what are mast cells? Mast cells are a type of immune cell responsible for immune reactions. While it can be scary to have mysterious symptoms and want answers, activation of mast cell is common. For instance, conditions like allergic rhinitis and asthma, allergic reactions like anaphylaxis to drug or food, and mastocytosis all activate mast cells. This causes them to release proteins, histamine, and mast cell mediators that give you symptoms that are bothersome at best and dangerous at worst. Other common conditions can also cause unexplained symptoms, but mast cell activation syndrome is rare. You guys, doctors, med talk, doctors of YouTube, and the internet at large. If it's rare, then I shouldn't be able to count without even thinking, list off 9 other names, mine and 9 other names of people I interact with regularly on the internet who have found my name or whose videos I see on my recommended pages because we've all found each other in the actual eye of freaking craziness storm. I don't think it's I don't think it's rare. I think it's just underdiagnosed. It might not necessarily be as common as, like, the common cold, but I'm pretty sure it's just underdiagnosed. Okay. So healthcare providers can diagnose it if you have repeat symptoms concerning possible anaphylaxis without a clear trigger. Anaphylaxis, 2 or more body systems affected at once. Medical definition. You have more than one body system affected at the same time. Guess what? That's one of the definitions of mastocytosis. And it's the same diagnosis or same the criteria for an idiopathic anaphylaxis diagnosis. I'm not saying, but 2 + 2 might equal 4. Tests show sign of mast cell activation. Be careful with that one because tryptase only shows in about 30% of patients elevated, even with a flare. And that's because of the fact that your baseline might be way lower than the average person. So when your mast cells jump and react and kick out the tryptase and it goes up, but it's still under the normal level, your body thinks it's on fire, and then the fire department thinks you're crazy. I don't know who you are, Mr. Superstar. I'll have to check you out, okay? Sorry about that. All right, mast cells and their function. Mast cells are a part of your immune system. The usual function is to help protect your body from invading germs or other harmful substances. They sit in your tissues, and when they recognize something they think is harmful, they release histamines and other chemicals to activate your immune system and to try to flush out the intruder. It's not going to flush it out though if your sink is clogged. Just remember that. That's why you need to figure out what your personal cocktail with your doctor and their advice, OTC, prescribed, whatever the combination might be. This is why you need to talk to your doctor. TMSforcure.com has a page you can print out for building a rescue plan for MCAS with your doctor, and they have to fill out a lot of the information down to what anesthesia is safe for you. Your KET doctor is treatment for protocol for mastocytosis in Florida. I don't have a mastocytosis diagnosis. I'm not in Florida right now either. I don't know if we might end up back in southern Georgia. I don't know. And I also am not sure how I'd handle a cut infusion because I'm a special kind of jacked up. I have to look up at the ingredients and see how that's formulated. Because I'm so effed up, I don't just read the ingredients. I have to look at the ingredients and then break them down, and then look up all of the sub derivatives in the main ingredients, and then I got to do the same for the inactives. It's fun. Only I'm not getting paid for it. So, I've heard wonderful things about it. I have a friend with multiple healthcare conditions, multiple chronic illnesses. Many are similar to mine. Some are the same, diagnosed, but she swears by them and how they've improved her quality of life. Right now, I'd be happy with just a saline solution. A saline solution, IV drip once a week, because I'm telling you, 17 years after having HG, during my entire pregnancy, I still remember the absolute, oh, thank God, feeling I got when the first saline drip hit my system. I was hospitalized 3 times during my pregnancy. All 3 times I needed 4 bags of IVs. Yeah. So, yeah, my meds are like that. So many exactly, right? It's helping my Durkheim's, PCOS, PTSD, ADHD. Okay, yeah, I'm majorly ADHD, and I've got to look up Durkheim's. Life changing, crazy, how different, but at the same time, we are. I feel for you with the allergies. Yours are bad. Mine are just. I know I'm not the most allergic person on the planet. I just know I'm a walking oxymoron, and I don't think I'm gonna have a chance to do it tonight, but I do have to work on my actual allergy list because my doctor wants. Let me rephrase this: the guy with the white coat with the PhD after his name, who was treating me 2 weeks ago, but I don't know, was still treating me because apparently I was calling too much, and um, apparently I was being too ADHD and too autistic. Um, Sorry, and I was asking too many questions on my chart, and usually it was during, hey, you said I can only epi this many times a month. What am I supposed to do the rest of the times? That kind of thing. But whatever, I'll figure that out later. All right, so we're gonna finish this here. How serious is mast cell activation syndrome? The severity of MCAS depends on your symptoms. It can be relatively mild with just skin-related symptoms. That would be cutaneous mast cell, not just regular. But it can also cause episodes of anaphylaxis, which can be fatal if not treated right away. Okay. Again, we're confusing anaphylaxis for anaphylactic shock because anaphylaxis can be stopped with an EpiPen or two. Anaphylactic shock usually means that's when the clock starts ticking, and you better be already strapped to a gurney in the back of wee woo van on the way to the ER, or possibly already in the ER. If you're reaching for that second EpiPen and you go to pop yourself with that bad boy, you best make sure you woke your neighbor, called the ambulance, copay be damned, figure it out later, or get to the ER, talk to your doctor, figure out your rescue plan. But if you're in anaphylactic shock, you need that help now. I'm actually waiting on the ADHD less than 2 weeks to come in. Test. Yeah, I have to ask my doctor to try one more time because since I've reduced so many allergens, I can handle magnesium straight at my medications. That's a coconut cross. But it has to be like near the bottom of the list, not at the top of the list. So we'll see. So the severity of MCAS depends on your symptoms. It can be relatively mild with just skin-related symptoms, but it can also cause episodes of anaphylaxis, which can be fatal if not treated right away. That's called anaphylactic shock. Okay, severe life-threatening reactions due to mast cell activation syndrome are extremely rare. No. And this is why so many people don't know they're having MCAS. They don't, MCAS or not, this is why so many people don't realize they're having anaphylaxis. I went like 41 years before I knew that I was having MCAS, anaphylactic reactions. Okay. I didn't know that I shouldn't be, shivering and welts or dry, hardened skin, swelling, and or brain fog, or potential seizures, because severe allergic reactions can also cause seizures. Thank you. If you like it, I'm not making any money off this because they don't know I exist, but it's an Irish wool newsboy cap. I get them on Amazon. Literally, you just got to search term Irish wool newsboy cap for women on Amazon, and this you'll see multiple colors of this. They're like $50. I usually get one every year for Christmas, and they're my camouflage when I have like flare hair, and by flare hair I mean I got curious, so I stick my finger in under the faucet and then into the electrical socket to see what would happen, and I got forgotten troll doll, for the result. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Okay. All right. What are the symptoms? Low blood pressure, maybe. Flushing hot red skin, flushing hot red or pink skin. Yeah. Itchy skin. I would fix that to say itchy or painful skin, because autistic people sometimes experience itchiness as pain. Nasal congestion. I would also put postnasal drip or postnasal flood, because it's not just congestion. That congestion can actually be like what starts, and then all of a sudden it just comes all down at the same time, and then you get projectile vomiting. Ask me how I know. I'm just sharing for a friend. Okay. Swelling often of your face, lips, eyes, tongue, or throat. Angioedema. If your throat is swelling, that's not just angioedema. That is a sign of anaphylaxis. Lips, eyes. I get that all the time. I get this daily. I get that daily. Constipation or diarrhea, sometimes alternating. Yeah, abdominal belly pain, shortness of breath. If your airway is affected, talk to your doctor. Get a freaking EpiPen, please. I'm not saying you need one. I'm saying every single medical source that I've documented, that I've looked at, peer reviewed, the TMS for a Cure, the Mass Health Society for a Cure, NHS, JAMA, Mayo Clinic, shortness of breath, and drop in blood pressure. That is anaphylactic shock. 2 or more body systems, that is anaphylaxis. And there are 4 different grades of anaphylaxis. Okay. The fourth one being, I hope you're at the ER already. Okay. The first one being, gee, I wonder if I need it. And then the average person in their life going, I need the epi right the F now. While we're going, well, I mean, it is just a flesh wound. We're the Monty Python night. Okay? We're the Monty Python flesh wound. We don't think it's a big deal. They think, everybody else is like, you okay? You want to go to the hospital? There's a reason for that. All right. Memory loss or trouble thinking, brain fog. Okay. That one, just so you know, this is not an everybody thing. I'm sharing just because it's happened to me. For the longest time, I used to think brain fog was what I was experiencing, when I was experiencing what I didn't realize were potential seizure activity. The cause hasn't been determined yet because they have to have an EEG. It could, let's just say the theory of epilepsy has been pondered. It's on the table. So basically, the test is to rule that out, because seizures can be triggered by severe allergic reactions. Seizures can also be a symptom of MCAS reactions, which almost sounds like I'm repeating myself, but I'm not, because again, anaphylactoid reactions from MCAS are not always blood quantifiable or testable. It just means going, ha, yeah, kidding, okay, and then your doctor looking at you like you wasted everybody's time. And seizures are also a potential symptom of Behçet's. Behçet's causes your body to attack its own blood vessels. That means that I could be having a seizure, blood clots, stroke, sudden loss of hearing and or vision. I don't know if that's permanent or not because I'm still looking. All right. To be considered MCAS, the symptoms must affect two or more body systems. That's a symptom for anaphylaxis too. All right. Let's go down to the bottom because this is repeating itself. Outlook for prognosis. Currently, there's no cure for MCAS. There's no cure for MCAS. There isn't. There is no cure for MCAS. Okay? So if anybody is trying to tell you that they can help you lead a symptom-free life, or that MCAS it's not so important to have. You don't need the diagnosis. Yeah, you do, especially if the person who's telling you don't need the diagnosis doesn't have a PhD or MD after their last name, okay? Or a DR dot before it, okay? I am past the point of actually giving a damn whose stand group comes after me, because this is dangerous information and different ways for people to phrase. No. There is no cure for MCAS. You need to manage it with medication. Not everybody needs the medications, but most of us do. Not all of us have histamine intolerance and MCAS, but a lot of us do. I have just MCAS and histamine intolerance. My daughter's 17. She just has MCAS right now. She seems to be able to be okay with everything else, but we know what to look for. What's the life expectancy? Basically, as long as the same as an average person, but it's a newly recognized condition, so we can't know for sure if it impacts life expectancy. MCAS was put on the map, I believe, in 2007, officially. That's when my daughter was born. Guess what my root cause was? Pregnancy. So if anybody wants to come at me with I cured my MCAS, I got to the root cause because I had mold exposure. I'm not arguing that moving out of a moldy environment or having it properly treated is going to make you feel better. I'm not arguing that. Mold poisoning sucks. I lived in a mold box for years. I grew up in a mold box because I grew up in Metro Detroit on food stamps. I understand. Okay. There was definitely mold in the house that I moved to when we moved to the suburbs. You want to know what it did though? Do you want to know now that I'm no longer in that environment? All it means is I can eat a cheeseburger. Nothing else changed. I still have MCAS because if the root cause fix was a theory, I would have stopped having MCAS and reactions the second I pushed the baby out my hoo-ha, okay? All right, but I didn't. I still have MCAS. It's still there. Okay. Oh, and by the way, anybody who says you don't need an MCAS diagnosis, have them look up MCAS and anesthesia on TMS for cure.org, because we basically are at risk of having anaphylaxis or worse on the table during any surgery under which we need to be put under, unless we're given and constantly monitored by an MCAS aware anesthesiologist and care team, because the rest could cause anaphylaxis. Just saying. How do you take care of yourself? Keep a journal. Include information about symptoms. Anything you can remember about what you ate or were exposed to at the time. Think about anything that might be different about those times compared to when you haven't had episodes. Example, I am allergic to pretty much existing, but I'm really only allergic to existing when I'm PMSing or my daughter's existing. Then I don't have to take my rescue meds as often as I do. I just have to take the maintenance level. I can usually skip the rescue part. I know I'm going to have at least one MCAS done before I go to sleep every single night. And I know that if I wake up in the morning and my face is all kinds of like that, that it most likely means that I had MCAS. I had a reaction overnight. Oh, by the way, I found out I was allergic to cinnamon the other night. It's not only is it an potential MCAS trigger, it's also a cinnamon. It's also a latex trigger. Good times. Okay. So you also need to know that you need to notify friends and relatives or anyone who's around you a lot that what an attack looks like and where to find your epinephrine injector or other emergency medication. See, that one's a hard one because a lot of patients don't recognize what MCAS looks like because they don't know that anything's wrong because we're being told by our doctors that it's all in our heads. So that information isn't going to apply to a lot of people because we don't know that what we're experiencing is not normal. When to go to the ER, according to the Cleveland Clinic, although severe reactions to MCAS are rare, if you have symptoms of allergic reaction or anaphylaxis, use your epinephrine injector if you have one, then call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room. Symptoms of anaphylaxis include swelling of face, lips, tongue, or throat. Ta-da. This is minor. Oh, and my fingertips get super, super, super swollen, like painful, and I'm talking the actual tip. This one is fine. This one turned into like winter calloused skin and hurt like hell. Sorry. All right, fast heart rate, tachycardia. My heart rate was 130 all day 2 days ago, unless I was sitting down and went back down to 80s. Again, I was not diagnosed with POTS at the Mayo Clinic. I wonder if I should have a second evaluation without my mast cell stabilizer. Because the day after I was put back on the medication, I was in the low 90s. Things were getting normal again. Questions to ask your healthcare provider. What should I do if I have an episode or flare up? How do I take my medication? How and when do I use my epinephrine injector? Which epinephrine injector are you being prescribed? Because that matters. And when should I go to the ER? When should I follow up with you? Is mast cell autoimmune disorder? Sirens are going off, security on its way, or mast cells are detecting danger and have signaled for help, except there's no danger. Like an obnoxious prankster, your mast cells keep pulling the alarm when there's no emergency. Instead of preventing you from getting sick, they're the ones making you sick. Well, we're not sure why some people's mast cells overreact like this. There are ways that you can manage it, like recognizing the early signs of a reaction. That's why Mayo told me to epi at facial angioedema or dry tongue or that kind of thing. If you feel your symptoms are too hard to manage, talk to your provider. I would suggest patient advocate be with you, a loved one be with you, someone who's witnessed your reactions be with you. Okay. Most importantly, always carry an epinephrine injector. It should Cleveland Clinic, it needs to say injectors, because that right here is the reason that people think it's safe to carry one pen. The first pen may not always work. It might not be enough. I've had 2 EpiPens in the same box, same lot number, misfire on me. And they were my last 2 Epi. I know I spent the rest of the night at the ER. They wouldn't, and they wouldn't even treat me because I had already treated myself at home with 2 misfired EpiPens. Whatever. And then they charged me a whole lot of money for sitting in a bed while they made sure I didn't have another reaction. All right. Most importantly, okay. Hopefully you'll never need it, but it can give you peace of mind to be prepared for an Tell me if this isn't the most perfect way to end this article. And I mean perfect in the it's only funny because it's true kind of way. Hopefully you'll never need the epi, but it can give you peace of mind and to be prepared for an unexpected reaction. You guys, 1 minute, you guys. MCAS is an unexpected reaction, like all the time. That's kind of fun. It's kind of like the hallmark of the condition. Oh, forgot, thumb hurts. Oh, and my hair is. I don't want my hair touching me right now. Okay. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna do a separate read on that one because that was painful. Yeah, that was painful. There, we need to fix it. Excuse me. Say hi in the chat. I see you, whoever's watching. Damn. All right. I was also gonna share. One second. Hey, Vix, how you doing? Let me see. I'm looking real quick. Give me a second here. Trying to remember what else I pinned. And I cannot see my links in the description box right now. Notes? No. Chat. No, we're good there. Captions. No. See, this is why. Let me see. Share screen. Was it that one? I think it was this one. I don't remember. You know what? It's 3:00 in the morning. I may go. I'm looking. I'm not sure if I actually got the correct links here. Thank you for sharing, Donna. I appreciate it. 2,000 likes. Sweet. All right, I'll hang out for another half hour if I can get 2 more of my roses. I'm trying to get to my rose goal tonight. Let's see. We're going to do a read on latex allergy cross-reactive food fact sheet list from latexallergyresources.org. This was written in I don't know what year. All right, latex reactions to products containing natural rubber latex often result from exposure of sensitized individuals to one or more proteins that occur naturally in raw latex preparations. At least 13 distinct proteins have been identified and associated with latex sensitivities in healthcare workers, spina bifida patients, and children or adults within the general population, with most allergic patients reacting to multiple latex proteins that vary somewhat between these groups. Yeah. Dry mouth. Sorry. That one took a long time. All right. Structural function activity relationship. The biological function or enzymatic activities associated with most latex allergens have been determined. Several of these proteins are active enzymes involved in defending the latex plant from microbial attacks, particularly colonization and growth of numerous fungi. What now? In general, proteins that serve similar functions in different plants, whether genetically related or not, usually contain highly conserved sequences and three-dimensional structures. So it's not surprising to find plant defense or pathogenesis-related proteins and activities comparable to those found in latex in a wide variety of plants that include many common foods. Cross-reactivity with foods. These relationships are relevant to latex allergy because a number of these common plant defense proteins are potent allergens. The tendency of latex-sensitive individuals to express allergic reactions after ingestion of certain foods has been recognized for many years, and subsequent clinical and laboratory studies have confirmed both the sources of the offending allergen and the relevance to the allergic reaction. Our immune system recognizes particular antigen structures as foreign without regard for the origin of these molecules. Close structural similarities between any two allergens from divergent sources can produce similar allergic reactions in sensitive patients. Lost my place. Oh, and is termed cross-reactivity or cross-sensitization. Ingestion of some foods produce allergic symptoms in patients sensitive to latex inhalation or contact due to the presence of these common or cross-reactive protein allergens. Guess who is going to be homebound from basically now to Thanksgiving? I don't think I can go into stores. I might have another week, but considering the Halloween candy was already out and the entire store smelled like cinnamon, was in the just. It was like standing in the. It was just offensive. Okay, all right. The association between latex allergy and food allergy is often referred to as the latex fruit syndrome, although many vegetable foods have also been identified as possessing clinical and immunological cross with latex reactions. The foods shown below have been linked genetically or allergenetically to latex in published reports and are grouped based on high, moderate, and low undetermined degree of association to latex or prevalence of allergic reactions. The foods include banana, avocado, chestnut, kiwi. I know people who've been diagnosed with latex allergy and had an EpiPen just because they were because of that. Moderate: apple, carrot, celery, melon, papaya, tomato, potato, apricot, buckwheat, cassava or manioc, castor bean. Sweet freaking. Castor bean. Cherry, chickpeas, hummus, y'all. Citrus fruit, coconut, cucumber, dill, eggplant or aubergine, fig, goji berry, wolfberry, grape, hazelnut, Indian jujube, jackfruit, lychee, mango, nectarine, oregano, passion fruit, peach, papaya, peanut butter, pear, peppers, cayenne, sweet or bell, persimmon, pineapple, pumpkin, rye, sage, strawberry, shellfish, soybean, sunflower seed, tobacco, turnip, walnut, wheat, zucchini. Wheat. I'm allergic to wheat. And let me see a minute. Allergic to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. All right, so around 45. I'm allergic to like 23 of them. Beautiful disaster. How you doing, my love? All right. It is important to note some of these foods listed above may not produce clinically important reactions in latex-sensitive individuals for numerous reasons. However, recognitions of the foods that are known to share some major or minor allergens with latex can help patients and their families minimize exposure to possible sources of or provocative allergens and understand the risk that is associated with inclusions of these foods in their diets. Understand this. Talk to your doctor, okay? Sorry. Wait a minute. I'm pretty sure this is basically just like a silent anaphylaxis. Like, look, dude, this, my tongue is dry, is all get out. And my fingertips, like the blood vessels, my fingertips were like, literally, the tips were like, you can still see it here. See? Like, the skin changed color and everything. Anyway, that is from the AIAA. What the hell is that called? Latex Allergy Resources. So there's that one. I'll make sure that's linked because I can't remember which ones I did. I'm gonna have to look this up. Give me a second. Yeah, I don't want to read that one right now. MCAS and other downloads. No. Not right now. Look at that one later. All right, let me see something. Now we're gonna go here. All right, latex allergy list. This is my list for my doctor. 1 minute. How do I share this? I don't see an option to. Oh, right. 1 second. Let me go here. Share screen. And here we go. All right. My doctor asked me to put together a list of my allergens. I'm not done with it yet, but I'm working on it. Okay. So far, I have latex, banana. 1 second. I should probably count these. Latex, banana, avocado oil, guacamole, poinsettia. Yes, poinsettias carry latex in the leaves, and it can become airborne with dust. I've had reactions because of it. Kiwi, 5. One second. Okay, kiwi 5, chestnut 6, wheat/gluten 7, cucumber. 1 minute. Cucumber, that's 8. Grapes/wine, that's 9. Peanut, the main reason I have to avoid peanuts is because I usually only ingest peanuts in the form of peanut butter, and it's impossible to find peanut butter without freaking palm oil in it. But I'm still limiting it because latex crosses. I'm on 12 with sunflower seeds, sunflower oil. There you go. Bamboo. Surprise, surprise. I'd be allergic to myself if I was a panda. All right. Bamboo flower. FYI, if you have celiac disease or allergic to gluten, a lot of celiac safe foods contain latex proteins or shared derivatives. Let's see. 15. You can watch me as I type on my YouTube channel if you want to take a look over there. You break out on bamboo sheets. Girl, I know, I am so sorry. I couldn't figure out what was jacking me up either. I made the mistake of getting reusable menstrual pads made of bamboo because I can't wear regular ones from the store because they contain too many coconut fibers and mast cell triggers. And they had adhesive on them, always like latex. It's just a latex shit show. I couldn't walk for a week. It was a nightmare. Never doing that again. All right. 16. Peanut butter. 17. Peanuts. I just kind of avoid them just to be safe. 18. Castor beans, because I have to spell this out for everybody. 19 is castor oil. 1 second. 20 is palm oil. 21 is coconut, which will have its own category later. 23, jackfruit. By the way, if you're vegetarian, I am just a messenger. Please don't send anyone for me because jackfruit contains it actually contains latex. So I know it's like a big vegan or vegetarian meat substitute. It's also like a huge latex cross. 25, pineapple. 26, melons. 27, rye. 28, peas, because I hate legumes. I've always hated legumes. I didn't know why. 29, we're putting, let's see, 29, turnip. All right. 30, monk fruit. Yeah, it's in the gourd family. So if you're allergic to gourds, monk fruit might not be the best idea. 31. I just found this out a week and a half ago from a nurse friend with latex allergy. Stevia bad, because it's in the same family as ragweed, and ragweed is directly related to latex. And I had a major reaction after having. I didn't know that's why I was writing as long as I was for like the last 6 months. 32. I'm at 33 now. Mesquite legume. It's a legume. The mesquite tree is a legume. So barbecue sauces, wood chips, flavorings, that kind of thing. If it's a smoked flavor, I have to know what smoked with. If it's aged whiskey in a barrel, I have to find out what that barrel is made of. Like, I'm gonna have to make sure that our honey is only from places not touching Mexico. I can say that I'm Mexican. My father was born there. Although here's my Mexican card because I kind of lost it. Anyway, coconut and derivatives. That's going to have its own separate category later, but that's 35. Crocus flowers. Want to know how I know that? Because I have Behçet's disease, and my rheumatologist at the Mayo Clinic wanted to put me on colchicine. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to take that. And she goes, how do you know? And I said, because it's going to contain something I'm allergic to. Do you want to know what her answer was? We'll get that to that fridge when you cross it. No big deal. Fine. And I was like, okay, but letting you know, I have to look up what's in this. Long story short, she says colchicine. I go on a 10-minute, like, rampant, rabbit hole of a search to figure out if I can call to get the prescription corticosteroid, by the way, if I can get it compounded for me, and if I can, if we're able to afford it, right? Yeah. Turns out crocus flowers are derived from, colchicine is derived from crocus flowers. Crocus flowers are in the latex family. That's how allergist was like shocked, stupid that I figured it out for her while she was Googling. And she was like, holy crap. And I was like, yeah, I know, I'm your girl. It took me a while with the bamboo sheets, but my last allergic reaction, it was the only thing You want to know how I figured it out? Gluten-free pita bread, that Be Good brand. And the bamboo pad incident. 0 stars. 0 stars. Do not recommend. 37. All right. 38 is acacia trees, or how do you say that? A-C-A-C-A. I would pronounce it acacia. Acacia trees, because I read every new word in Spanish. Yeah, but is it acacia or is it acacia? I have no idea. I have ragweed here already. I'm pretty sure I have ragweed listed. A minute. Acacia. All right. That would make sense because it is on this one border. All right, let me see. Yep. All right. This is just the latex stuff, right? Baby bottle nipples. 40. Balloons. 41. Bath mats. You watching this on YouTube? This is what? Okay. All right. Let's get back here. Where'd my document go? Oh, are you kidding me? Where'd it go? I lost my document. There it is. Nope. Wait a minute. Where'd it go? You just need to put everything and anything that's not heavily tested. You know what? I laughed when he told me I needed to actually like write it all out. I was like, no one's gonna read that. The Bible's thinner. And he was like, no, we need it all. Okay, what the hell happened? All I did was 1 minute. Untitled document. Where's the newest? Do they realize how many that is? I'm just on latex. I haven't gotten to the ethylene or the coconut yet. I'm like, I'm gonna be allergic to like 300 things. I'm like, I can't do corticosteroids. I can't do sunscreen. I can't do lotions. I can't do any hair shampoos. I can't do lotion conditioners. I can't do topical skin creams or antibiotics or corticosteroids. I can't do anything I can only do Gen 1 antihistamines, and even then they have to be compounded because I can't do gel caps because they're or the glycerin in coconut. In Benadryl, because glycerin is often derived from coconut. I can't do anything with dyes. I can do something with dyes, but not a whole lot. I can't take a ton of antibiotics. I've reacted to sulfa. I'm allergic to Mexico. My father would be very like, what the hell wrong with you? What? Okay, so let's see. Bath mats. My husband, bless his heart, bless his heart, not in the ironic way, literally spent 2 hours at the grocery store, 5 minutes from our house. Okay, 5 minutes from our house, because he wanted to make sure he bought himself a latex safe, not latex, but allergen safe medication, coffee creamer that I could handle. And I was like, because you have to look all this shit up when you're there. Cool beans. Share this tab instead. 1 second. Where are we? I need to finish up soon anyway. I just want to get to try it. If I can get to like 50, I can call it good. And then I can go to the next one, like tomorrow. Okay, 42 is catheters. 44, computer equipment such as mouse pads. Dude, I'm in trouble if I'm ever have to be put under again for a scope of any kind. Because medical lubricants and waxes contain ethylene dichloride. But when I had to get an upper endoscopy like 5 years ago, because they were trying to figure out the dysphagia, the like food stuck feeling, my airway slammed shut. The second they inserted the scope past my like airway, my airway slammed shut, and they had to remove the scope immediately and initiate life-saving measures. But don't worry. Doctor said, come back in 2 weeks. We're all good now. Doctor knows what to do with you. No. We have oat-based nitrile gloves, and my hands break out on them. I leave them on. Oat-based nitrile gloves? I'd be reacting to that crap too. Just figure out, it might just be the rubber band. Oh, yeah, damn. Okay. All right. 44, computer equipment such as mouse pads. 45, let's just refer to that as protection and more protection, the internal kind that my body kept on pushing out. Okay, 46, dental products, including wedges, and orthotic rubber bands. 47, we're going to go a little further and say Gouda, Percha. 1 second. Gouda, Percha, Aperture. Adhesive solution, because it comes from the same family as it comes from a tree in the same family as the latex allergy as a rubber tree. All right. 48, elastic clothing. This varies. I can wear certain bras, but I haven't worn underwear in years. That's why I live in leggings. Let's see. 48, erasers. 49, foam mattresses and pillows. 50, garden hoses. Hi, guess what? I'm Mexican, first generation American. And do you want to know what I spent most of my childhood doing in the summer? Yeah, drinking out of the hose in the backyard with my friends and my cousins, because we were supposed to play outside while the adults got to hang out inside before, air conditioning and stuff. So we were drinking that crap up to like craziness. I also had trouble with the procedure masks we wore during COVID. Beautiful disaster. Are you allergic to coconut? $53, rubber balls. That includes, the Gen X Club of always being outside. Bingo. Rubber balls. So that includes tennis, volleyballs, basketballs. I'm not sure we don't like it. Okay, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice, but I'm just going to put this out there just so you know. If you're reacting to N95 masks, all N95 masks and medical grade procedure masks contain coconut as a in the mask as a filtration. So does all water that is filtered through carbon filters. Anything that's made of activated charcoal is made from burnt coconut husks or shells, and the fibers in the N95s contain coconut. I couldn't wear those. I have log masks that are latex and coconut safe. And I'm actually working on trying to get the owner of the company on the channel. So that's a goal. There are only 2. All of her masks are latex allergy safe. Only 2, a white one and a black one, are latex and coconut allergy safe, because something about the thermal printing wouldn't work with the coconut. Let's see. No, it's not going to say that. It's just shit we have to know about ourselves when we keep ourselves alive, because it's a guess. Basically, having coconut allergy is up around and find out like every fucking day. So, right, they can't demonetize. I'm not monetized yet. Rubber household gloves. Yeah, I've already contacted the owner of Vogue Mask. If your only issue is latex, all of her masks are latex allergy safe. You have a set of N95s in your locker. I've never worn one because I can't. That's all I'm saying. And it's a coconut allergy cross. I'm sorry, it's a latex allergy cross. So Also, I've never liked peas. I've never liked a lot of the foods that I'm anaphylactic to now. And coconuts always tasted like paper to me, which I know now was like the sensory autism brain trying to like translate dry tongue. All right, I'm on 57. Tennis rackets. 58. Rubber-soled shoes. Y'all are gonna have fun when I get to the medications. Jesus Christ. 59. Medical devices such as gloves, syringes, blood pressure cuffs, bandages, IVs, tubes, and catheters. You know what? We're gonna separate that because that's too many words for anybody to read at once. We're gonna make every single one of these things its own thing because he wanted itemized. I'm itemizing the hell out of this thing. Medical gloves. I'm going to hit 100 easy tonight. Fixing this. Medical syringes. There are latex safe ones. All right. 71. Blood pressure cuffs. I have asked every single time I'm like, is that allergy safe? And they're like, oh yeah. And so hopefully I'm right. 72. Bandages. 78. IV tubes. I was hospitalized 3 times during the pregnancy for hyperemesis gravidarum while I was being treated with an anti-nausea medication, usually reserved for people who are suffering through fighting through chemo, and people who are diagnosed with cyclical vomiting syndrome. And then I was hospitalized 3 times after for a week each, every other week during the first 6 weeks of her life. That might have been my tipping point. Because Zofran contains ethanol diamide of chloride. Let's see. Catheters. All right. 80. Dental dams. 81. Toothbrushes with rubber grips. Okay. 81. 82. Dental irrigation tips. We already did dental dams. I can get rid of that one. 82. Orthotic rubber bands and elastic. 83. Clothing items such as elastic waistband and pants, underwear, sneakers, socks, and pantyhose, swimsuits. Dude, if you have latex allergy and you're still wearing latex-soled shoes and you're not reacting to them yet, God bless you. But you need to pay attention and make sure that you're aware of what you do when it starts, if it becomes a progressive allergy for you. I had to give away all my Converse. By the way, I still only have 1 rose. Looking for the goal. If you want me to keep going live, I need the roses. All right, 84. Wait a minute. Not my mind. Waistband and pants, underwear, sneakers, socks, pantyhose, and swimsuits. Yay. Children's items such as bottle nibbles. baby children items. Diapers, rubber pants. I think this is why I instinctively bought the diaper to my daughter through her, like, the majority of her babyhood. We only did regular diapers when we were, like, traveling, like, and it was impossible to, do anything else. Traveled, teething toys, infant gum massagers, and toys. Okay, so that's 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. Okay. Household items. Such as flooring, rug mats, bath mats, rubber gloves, sure, tires and mats, personal care items such as, well, personal care items. Okay. Personal care items, let's just refer them as feminine care items in this case. So y'all know what I mean? 1 second. 91, 92. Diaphragms, protection, and when I get old enough, I'm going to have to look and see if there's a cloth diapers for adults. Eventually, we all end up in, depends, right? If par for the course. Yeah, I can't wear those. Because latex allergy. I'm so scared. Okay. Office supplies. That was 92, 93. Office supplies such as rubber bands and erasers. School supplies such as erasers, rubber cement, and paint. Not kidding you, I jacked myself up hardcore. Because I went outside when the block stopped that was just poured a few years ago, still smelled like blacktop. I had such severe vertigo later that night that it took me an hour and a half to inch my way to and from the bathroom because I couldn't stand. My body didn't know which way was up, and it was 100%. It was that. Oh, 1 second. 95. 96. Cinnamon. 97. Stevia. Did I ever put stevia? I think I did. A minute. Yes, I did. Okay. Where are we at? Okay, got that in there. What am I forgetting here? Oh, athletic shoes, soles. 98. I have this one. Linked. Tapioca. Hi, sorry. 99. I'll have to go back and check later and see if I missed anything. Oh, sage and cilantro are listed. Nibbler patas. All right. I'm up to 100 right now with just latex allergy cross reactives. No, 101 because I have to have this one. Spelling would be nice. Okay. Oh. I'm at 101 right now. I still have to go through the coconut symptoms, and I still have to go through all the coconut derivatives, and I still have to go through all of the ethylene tetrachloride list. I'm going to tell you right now, just from copying and pasting, I am looking at a total of approximately 10 pages. 10 pages. All right, I gotta go. I gotta get the dogs outside and I need to get to bed. I will continue this tomorrow and we can go through the next 100. Have a good night. Thanks for watching and stay safe. All right, y'all. I'm out. I will check in with you tomorrow when I work on finishing this list. We got 201. Leave your comments in the video, in the comments below. What do you think the total is going to be? Oh, good Lord. All right.